Hello everyone, I thought I would come on and just show you a quick tutorial on this cute little retreat gift I made. I'd given my table mates some fabric and a bag and a couple of other things, but I wanted to make, I always like to make something, and so I'm just going to quickly show you how I made this, and I will make sure I will link all the items below. So you need these spools, which came off of Amazon. The felt balls also came from Amazon. Then you need, I have an assortment of these. They're Lori Holt. I'll link them below, but you just need a small, as you can see, it's just one button. Whatever piece of fabric that you want to rip to give it that look in the center. Obviously you need some thread. I just have my regular thread, that I use in my sewing machine. And you need some felt. And then obviously a scissor to cut something with, as well as these are the nifty needles from Lori Holt. I love them because they're color coded and they tell you binding, tapestry, sewing, embroidery, chunky, applique. So I'm using a sewing needle today. I will link those also. But so the first thing that you're going to do is that you want to attach the, you want to sew the felt ball to make it look like it actually has the tomato with the strings, as you can see here. So all I did was I just took a length of the thread and I did it in half so that there's a loop, and then you're just going to go through the ball, which is super easy, and then you're just going to come down on the side and then go up. I'm going to go through that loop I made just to secure it. And so that, see, it's already given it that look. And then I just go straight across to the other side again. Just go up through the middle, up through the top. And you're just going to do this 4 times, so across from each other. And pull it kind of tight so that it gives it, you know, so it kind of indents it just a little bit. So now I'll go to the other side, do that in, and then one more time on this side, giving it that look of how you would normally buy a sewing tomato. Now, if you can find a sewing tomato, I just couldn't find anything that would actually fit for this size. My friend Christy, I saw, and I will link her on Instagram, she had made them using sewing bobbins. So those were much shorter and smaller, and I just couldn't find anything that was already pre-made, so I just made it myself. Okay, the next is you still have leftover of the string, of the thread. So you're just gonna take, sorry, let me go around on this side. You're just gonna take and stick it through. Oh, no you're not, because you need to put on your leaf. So the leaf, the leaf is just a piece of craft felt, and I just looked up, I feel like this is the hardest part actually, is cutting out, like they're kind of just like a weird shape. So I just looked up on Google and looked up like tomato leaf for sewing, and then just did that. So actually you're going to take it and just stick it through like that. So it's on the top. Then you're going to take the little button and stick it through. Sorry, I'm not necessarily a tutorial person, but I love, then you're gonna stick it through the other side of the button again. I love watching other people's tutorials and getting ideas. And I feel like, you know, if you go to a lot of retreats, sometimes you run out of ideas or you're just not sure. And again, I don't feel like this takes a whole lot of time. So you're just going to go up and down a couple times through the button just to secure it. Like I said, I like to have something that I've actually made. And so this, you're going to tell, this doesn't take long at all to do it. And then you can have something handmade. This would also be great for, a lot of times I like to make Christmas ornaments for friends. So this could be a great, sorry, I can't seem to get this one. Trying to talk and so at the same time, this could be a great Christmas idea as well. And so then that's going to be the last time. So I'm just going to bring it through here. And then this is the bottom, and then just make a tiny knot to tie it off, because you're not going to see this because this is going to be the side that's going to be glued onto the spool. So just make a tiny knot so that it doesn't come out, and then use your scissors to cut that off so that now you have your tomato part ready to go. And then any type of fabric that you have that you want to use for this middle piece, depending on, you know, if you have a color scheme, or maybe, you know, if you have a group of friends and you like certain fabric designer or whatever. All I do is I already did this side. I already cut it and then ripped it, and then do the same on this side, just so that it's giving it that like more torn look. Then take your spool and just kind of go around with it, obviously, till you get to about where you want to be and have it overlap. Then take your scissor and cut it off. Now, you can use E6000 glue. You could use Eileen's glue. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to use hot glue, just so that I can do it quickly for you. So all I did, just put like a little dab of glue here. Sorry, try not to burn myself. So that you can start the piece of fabric. Just place it on the spool like so. Then wrap it around. And then I will do another, just a little bit of glue. And tap it down again. Like I said, you could use Eileen's E6000, whatever fabric glue that you prefer to use. So that just gives it that kind of, you know, vintagey type feel to it. And then you also could use the same glue, whatever you're using, to glue this on top. Again, for today, I'm just going to use hot glue. Just put a generous amount on there because just want to make sure. Then stick it on there. Just give it like a good press down. Obviously, I just did too much glue. You can tell now because you're seeing the glue. So don't do as much glue as I'm doing. Do less glue. Just make sure if you use the Eileen's or whatever that you use something that will dry clear. There you go. And so it's just a super easy. Now the felt, I didn't have any more of the dark green, so I just used what I had. I have lighter green, but different fabric in the middle. But you could make these personalized to your, like I said, to your friend's taste or your group's taste. And again, you could also do some kind of jute underneath here before you glued it. Also, if you wanted to make it an ornament, you could actually put something through here, up through the middle, and then out the top of the tomato, also to make it an ornament. But this is just a fun little something you made for your friend. It can go in their little stitchy box. they can stick their needle in it. It could just go on their stitching area at their retreat, and then later on just be like a cute little item. What would have been good, which I did not do, was to make some type of little sticker that went on there that said what the retreat was. You know, obviously it'd have to be a tiny sticker to say what the retreat was or the gift was, because I always like to know those facts. But anyways, I just wanted to share that little tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel, to my FlossTube channel, and follow me and like and subscribe. Thanks so much. Have a great day.